Hello, everyone. Peter Giannato's here with round two victor here with Steve Wang, who has an important victory over Richard Francisco in the second round. And so, Steve, congratulations. And what I'll do is I'll just sort of let you talk about your game and what you think like the important moments were, and then maybe I'll ask you a couple questions at the end.
All right,
so you can just sort of take it from here.
So I will be showing my game versus Richard Francisco. The game, so I know he plays e4 as white, but I could not find on TrustDB or 365 Trust what he plays against Caro. So, and I didn't want to play French because the last time I played it, it ended in a very tragic loss. So, d4, d5. I was thinking that he was going to play e5 because that's what he plays against the French defense as well. So I played bishop f5. h4. So the idea is the idea of h4 is if say black accidentally plays e6, then this is just then this bishop will be trapped after g4, bishop e4, f3, bishop h5. I mean g6 and h5. So yes, white moved around a bunch of his pawns, but is getting a bishop for it, and there's not really much I can do about that. So h4. I have two options here. I had h5 and bishop d7, but I played bishop d7, and I don't quite remember how to play like after c4. So I decided to go with the safe route and go h5. And he played bishop g5. So the idea is I don't get the easy e6 startup for development. So I played queen b6 here, bishop d3.
Right.
So I took because there was not really other good places to go besides going back to d7 or c8. Queen takes. So here I spent a few minutes trying to figure out if I want to take on b2 or just go with e6.
Right.
And what ended up happening is I feel like I have seen a position in a short game collection book before where black took on b2 and he was lost because this rook knight and bishop ended up getting locked together by e6. So even though white was down a rook, it was totally okay.
Yeah. What were you? So just can you give us a sample line if you take on b2, what you thought he may do?
What I feel like he would do new variation. What I feel like he would do is 92, something like 92, because he wants to play at knight, because just to strengthen this hold on c3. So queen takes a1, castles, and so if I go e6 now, he goes queen b3 and knight c3. I feel like is trapping his queen on a1.
Right.
So probably have to break out, and then he plays e6 here. So also as in the mainline Caro where white goes knight c3, e4 c6, d4 d5, knight c3, and I played the knight d7 line. I know that there's opportunities when white can go knight takes e4, knight g5, and knight e6, and it's the same effect because even though white sacrificed something, the three pieces on the king side, the three black pieces on the king side will be locked up together.
Yeah, I don't know. In this exact position, I'm not sure. Do you feel that white has compensation for a rook here? It doesn't. I mean, I know you're undeveloped, but a rook is a lot, and it doesn't really seem like his pieces are that ready to come over. Like suppose you took on e6 here.
So there's already queen g6 and like 4.
Right.
So queen g6.
Yeah.
Knight f4, huh?
And well, I was thinking king d7 and then like
king
knight f6. Maybe you could go queen f7 or something. But I thought if the king might just be able to escape. I mean, a rook is a lot. Like here, like maybe. I mean, I don't know. King d8 is probably fine too. I just didn't want to get tempoed on e6 after knight f4, knight f6, queen f7, I guess. And I was sort of thinking just running for the hills or something. I mean, because I'm up a rook, so maybe like b6 might be a reasonable square. I don't know. I mean, it's funny to say that, but I mean, you're up a rook, so I don't know. That's interesting. I wonder in this position here, if there's something that white's looking to do, like something specific that white, because I know Richard generally has pretty sharp and theoretical openings, so I wonder, I don't know if there's like a more direct reason why this doesn't where white's compensation for his rook would be there.
Actually, I think when you go bishop b2, he takes the a pawn. Let's say c3, he takes rook, queen c2, bishop, with the idea.
Right.
But he hangs the a pawn.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. I mean, I can understand sort of why you didn't take. I mean, I'm sure it's sort of a well-known thing. I mean, I don't think to allow something like that as white, I mean, where you're losing a rook is probably not. I'm just a little bit curious on where exactly white's total counterplay is.
E6 because maybe it was a different opening, which made me decide that I'm not going to try and risk having continuous turns of not developing and just trying to not getting checkmated, because I'm not exactly playing. I'm playing an incredibly good player who's not going to play bad moves like 9 out of 10 turns.
Right.
So knight d2. So this move basically means the b pawn is not free anymore, because my b pawn will be collateral if he will be hit if he goes rook b1, and this a pawn doesn't matter because this
on the 7th
control on the 7th rank. So I went for knight e7 because I figured it's going to take forever for any of his knights to reach a square that covers f5. So there's knight gf3. So white plays c4. So I think this is a common idea. I have played this in Blitz probably close to 100 times now, because with this, and the idea is that I think white, even though black gets the d5 square all to himself, white gets e4 and c4, which he can put a knight on. But so I took on it knowing that I was giving white the c4 and e4 square, because if white gets c5 in, I might be actually halfway close to losing, because
in this position, right? Like
if I went, say, knight d7 and c5, I feel like, even though I have the technical quote unquote good bishop, the lack of space makes it not close to being good at all.
Right. No, I mean, at least giving yourself the d5 square, and I guess the d pawn can be a target as well later, of course. Right now, you got.
Which is actually what happened in the game.
So knight takes,
and I went for queen a6 because
slightly annoying situation here.
Just taking advantage of two pieces that aren't, well, the queen in the back isn't getting protected. So I had castles, knight d7. So my idea is I was going to play bishop e7 and actually play king takes, because there's no.
So right.
Well, but also beforehand I was probably going to play knight b6. So maybe rotate this knight from b6 to d5.
Right. In there. Okay, so he played a3. Do you know exactly why he played a3? What the
a3?
What the idea? Does he want to move like?
I think it was. He said after the game that he was trying to take a square away from my bishop, but I wasn't going to put the bishop on b4 at all, because his king is not on e1 anymore, and yeah, I don't. I just don't want to be out there like being the collateral of any possible tactics.
Right. Okay. Knight b6.
Knight b6 pins. So knight fd2. He feel when we were analyzing, Francesco said that knight fd2 was probably a really bad move, because it takes one defender away from the d pawn. So I think we agreed that b3 or b3 or putting a rook on the c file is much better because it still defends the knight without moving a defender of the d pawn away.
Right.
So knight of d2, bishop e7. Takes king takes. I mean, because knight takes allows knight d6 check, and I'm the one with the worst pawn structure.
Right. Right. So yeah, knight on f5 is actually pretty great piece. Actually.
I was also thinking about king d7 because king takes e7 because this is. I feel like for some reason I felt like this position was getting to a point where queens are going to get off the board very soon. So it's probably much easier on my part if I get I don't have to castle. Yeah.
Okay. So a4 he played. I guess he's introducing some queen a3 check ideas. So you played
knight c4 because it would eventually reach. So I originally thought about rook h d8.
Yep.
New variation, but he just goes queen a3 check, king e8, knight d6, knight d6, e takes. But what's different is that now there's two extra knights, one for me and one for him, and he can use it to say go knight e4, knight c5, knight e4, knight g5.
And your king side's a little fragile here too, actually, because your king, even though you can go g6, like your dark squares are weak.
So, but instead, if I took a pair of knights first, he wouldn't have this knight in d2 anymore. So,
right.
Which is what I did. I played knight c4, knight takes c4, and then I played rook h d8.
Okay.
Queen A. He didn't play queen a3. Now my bad. Rook fd1. So the idea is now if I take, he has check, trades, and puts his knight on d6.
He's got a lot of compensation.
Yeah, and my king. I think I dropped the pawn by force too if I want to defend this.
Yeah, it's a little too risky for the. I mean, we can just show that. So
rook here.
Here.
Yeah. And then take the rook and go in knight.
Takes knight d6, and yeah, there's a lot of attack going on.
And also knight b5 if I want to actually try and defend the pawn.
Yeah. So yeah, it made sense. So you played here rook d7. So, played b3. I guess securing the knight.
Yeah. So the queen can actually move.
I was about to say this has just been an ongoing problem for him. The pin along the.
What was ironic though is that eventually when his queen moved, my queen ended up getting stuck on a6 and.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, I have to make a pawn move before I move.
So you doubled up on the pawn. So here queen d2 is he's getting out of the pin, but also I guess introducing some.
He's trying to take my h pawn. So right. I played king f8, so there's no check. But he went queen g5 anyway, so I have to spend an extra move defending the pawn.
Right. And then here king h2 is he? Do you think he was possibly preparing some?
He was g4, but I was already looking at say knight takes d4, and if knight takes d4, it doesn't matter because his king is still on the check square. Because when my knight goes somewhere to check, he's hanging the rook on d1 back.
Right. Okay. So you played here c5.
c5 because the other point is I was just going to move my queen to e4 by queen c6 queen.
That's
Well,
nice.
I'm hitting the h pawn. That's like that's the bare minimum reason why it's.
Yeah, I like that move. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, you're attacking the d pawn, but also giving your queen an avenue back into the position. Okay.
So queen f6, king g8. So here I was looking at a very interesting move for white here, d5.
Okay.
Except, so rook d5 obviously allows queen takes d8, and he might be the one that's playing for a win. So, like say stack rook on the back rank, maybe rook d7. Yeah, this is.
Yeah. I mean, he seemed. Yeah. I can see that.
And and if I play e takes, then he trades queens and go knight a5.
Yeah.
And now it's actually quite unclear because I think you can just stare down at the two pawns, and can I make any realistic progress here?
I think so. I think you're probably okay here. But yeah, like you said, I mean, he's gonna go. He's gonna go here. Yeah.
So I have ideas of knight g7, knight e6.
Right. That seems like a nice square for the knight.
Knight e6, but the main thing is just because I have But the only legitimate way to get rid of his knight on a5 is if I move my king to b6, and that's probably going to take a good while to do so.
Right. No, that's very interesting. So
yeah.
he played g4. Well,
I was also contemplating about knight h6, but I decided that if I have to take the h pawn with my, if I have to take it with my h pawn anyways, I should probably just take it right away.
Okay. So h5. That seems to be the idea.
So I put queen c6 because I think g takes draws. Or no, it's not exactly draw. Maybe not the most accurate term because it just means I just didn't want to allow I just didn't want him to play queen g5 and then when my knight has to move back to defend the pawn, that gives him d6. Because with 5 heavy pieces on the board, I'm not very confident about if I can.
Right.
I'm not really ready to prove that my pawns compensate for the rook.
Right. So here you played
queen c6.
Queen c6.
I was just going to dive my queen down to f3, do something.
Right. So here, could he have taken on g6?
No, he loses instantly because I have rook h7.
Oh yeah, after takes. Right. Okay. So rook g1.
So I played queen f3 because there was I was just going for mate in 1.
Yep.
And if he plays rook g2, I was just going to play queen h3, and knight takes d4. So the point is, I have knight e2. He has to defend knight e2 and knight f3 check. And so I think he resigned after I played queen f3.
Oh, after queen f3 resigned. Okay. Because pawn is hanging, so is queen h3 mate, and how do you stop queen h3?
And knight takes d4. Knight takes d4. It's literally
So rook g2 is the only move, which is obviously not great if this happens here. Yeah, that was a really enjoyable game. I think. I mean, it was a nice positional game where you didn't let it get out of control, and I really liked. I think one of the key moves of the game, I think, is this move c5. Even though it's not that difficult to to come up with, but you're really, you saw that your queen may be a little out of place, and once your queen got in the game, everything just looks really good for you. Knight's well placed, the rooks are well placed, the d pawn is weak, and then and I think after g4, I mean, I think you're right. I mean, it probably at this point, like the d5 move that you suggested might be the last chance, because I think after, I guess if he doesn't go g4 or whatever, you're going to consolidate with queen c6, right? And then aren't you just better in that position due to the d pawn weakness in your rooks? So I really like that game. Well, good game, Steve. And so you're 2-0 now in your section, which is a great start. And I don't want to bug you about norm possibilities, but you already know that 6.5 is going to get you an IM norm in your group. So you're on the right track, of course. Did you have, other than getting an IM norm, did you have any specific goals in the tournament? I mean, other than just your IM norm, maybe.
Well, if I don't get my IM norm, I was just going for not losing any of my games.
Okay, so just having a solid performance, even if you couldn't rack up enough wins to get 6.5. Okay, well, great, and good luck in the next round, and we're rooting for you as one of the local favorites. So good job, Steve, and good luck next round.